Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second semifinal. I am Gene7, joined by Sohav. And Sohav, our great match today is Seed 1 Fiesta versus Seed 4 Graveyard Shift. JP versus EU in a NA weekly. Who would have thought?
That's just a wild sentence you said. Like, both of these teams are outside of their time zones, outside of their way. Like, half these guys must be tired, but that tells me that they really want the prize, that they are here to play and they want the competition and a shot at the money. Like, there's something to be said for getting yourself ready for that top level of play, but considering they're both here and they're both made it this far, I think it says a lot to these teams and their ability to play the meta right now.
I completely agree. And from what I have been seeing, we gotta shout out Pro Chara. He's doing a streaming this game as well. But we've been bouncing back and forth, covering different games on the mainstream here and on Chara's co-stream. I was able to watch some of the Fiesta games, and my goodness, their comp is something. But I'm more worried about Graveyard Shift because those Tetras plus the splash combo can be lethal if you don't expect it rushing at you.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, these aggressive kinds of these setups with like Tetras, those players that really go in deep, really do need the team to answer it in a lot of ways. You can't just kind of sit back, wait till you have your crabs and run your rotation of your specials. You really have to address the kind of aggressive fly in the room when it comes to these ultimates coming in. So as we load in, I do think we're going to see those come out, and what we're looking at is pretty standard for the meta. The Kraken looks about right, too. It's an interesting little adaptation for this. I'm not incredibly sold, but the Gallon is a huge slayer. Like, 2 shots is all it takes, and that's easy to get into position. Yeah,
2 shots and combo with like good burst bomb placements and splash placements. It's a weapon that can work. Kraken, if it had a better main kit weapon, it would work better, but like the Gal, it can be used really, really strong. As we see this Kraken already going in, trying to look for a Fido, trying to look for space. Graveyard Shift is going down, but smart play by Terra to grab that Rainmaker to at least force Fiesta to pop it again.
I mean, that's something. At least you managed to push some aggressor out, and now that you've got Graveyard Shift 2 down, you'll get the progress in that starting push as you take this. The question is are you going to take the more dangerous load route, or are you going to take that side angle? And I think the side angle is the right choice here. There's just not as much pressure considering it's kind of off mid, so now that they have ultimates up, they should be able to get this first slam dunk easy.
Yeah, absolutely easy. No, as soon as that machine fell on that top right side, you knew that Fiesta could just go for that right side. It was so much safer. All the members of Graveyard Shift that were defending from the low ground had no right in being able to defend that top side. At least they were able to stop this Rainmaker from snowballing, only conceding a checkpoint. That, I feel, is dumb.
I mean, that's a big step forward. Like, that first checkpoint is a lot. It does give them a chance to get out of it, but it is going to cost them most of their specials to do so. You can see the Blue Bomb and Crab. Like, they are struggling to get the space here, Genie. They really just can't find an opening.
No, this is such a chaotic and scrappy map. Obito's actually able to get one. If Xera's can find another spot here on the splash with Orion, they should be looking at a good spot, and they do. You see where the Gal is, and the Gal falls before they can pop that Kraken. This is a great job positioning. Terra trying to go for this left side, but the Splatana Stamper is putting a lot of pressure on them so they can't get anything. And that's a great defensive posture from Fiesta.
Oh yeah, just realizing, look, you have to push into us, and you have no way to do so is great. It does get picked out of the air, but I mean, suddenly that advantage is falling, and that was your arguably most aggressive player there. So this move has to be quick if they want to counteract this push.
Yeah, and they're just gonna go for it. Can Dare get it? That's insane.
That's a good.
Just got caught sleeping on the side of Fiesta. Crazy plays.
I mean, it was an aggressive play. It does keep them a little bit closer to tying it up. They still have to get the push, though. So a numbers advantage for Graveyard Shift can go wonders here. They just need to find that number, and it doesn't look like they'll get it.
No, not at all. With the Gal going from the top ropes, getting splats, getting those one shots that they need, and their teammates able to follow up on it, getting a lot of assists and a lot of splats there, showing off why a coordinated Gal push is actually just devastating.
It really is, but trades come in, and the concern I have right now for Fiesta is just that they aren't really finding the space they're looking for. You can see it. They're just trying to find something with this Rainmaker, just not feeling comfortable to go. I really want to see a little bit more spread positioning out of them in addition to this Kraken to draw the attention.
Yeah, I'm worried about what's happening on that right side of the map because it could be a big fight if Orion and Tetra go down here. As we see Xera's on that left side also fall. This could be Fiesta's really good opportunity to get a lot of pressure down. But the Tetras are going in with the reset. Are they able to take out the Rainmaker and get away with their life? Orion, what are you doing on that with that special? My goodness.
I mean, look, you kind of expect that to be the case, but stopping the Rainmaker was the right call there, considering now you're 3 down. You have an advantage. You need to move aggressively here, and Terra will do that. They just don't quite have the space made for them in the direction they wanted to go, which has been unfortunate, but they should be able to hopefully pull the lead here now that they have control of this high ground.
They're trying to go aggressively on it. They have 2 up advantage. They get a 3 up advantage, but not the lead. The Gal's the last one alive, but they get 2 in that engagement. No. I wonder how close they are to Kraken, because they're doing an insane job at stalling out for them. As Platana Stamper jumps in, Opitos pops a crab neck in their face. Terra falls down again, and the Rainmaker, even though it was a 3v1 scenario, wasn't able to be popped for Graveyard Shift. And the lead will stay in Fiesta's favor.
Yeah, I mean, I knew we feel we had the advantage in those jumps in. We're not covered and protected, which is unfortunate. So Fiesta just needs to hold it here. 1 minute on the clock means it's probably 1 or 2 fights left, and they know they don't need to play aggressive. They just need to control the Rainmaker and survive the onslaught of coming ults here.
Yeah, oof. This is the final minute, and the league, it's really just a checkpoint game. Gotta love bending the Gal shots around the walls.
Oh man, that's a great pick though. 40 seconds on the clock. Rainmaker's still up, and I mean, finally it falls now with Fiesta down 3 though. Graveyard Shift needs to move fast here. This is their only shot, and someone needs to play up to take advantage of this to give themselves this number.
Oh my goodness, I think we're gonna have a little bit of a Rainmaker sneak, but no, the Gal and the Splash are able to shut that down. I'm worried for Graveyard Shift. They don't have the members, and they need to pop this Rainmaker. With Fiesta all being like partying around that Rainmaker shield, they could hold on to this.
I mean, they just have the positional control here, really. You can see it where they're spread out. They'll get the wipeout even. It's a little delayed, but like the damage is done. That last fight is really what cost them. Fiesta had space from across the maps. They had the crossfire set up on the high grounds, and it's over. I mean, Fiesta won that 2 fights ago. It just took them the time to get there, but it was a well-deserved fight given how close that could have been.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Fiesta's been playing so well in this tournament. I do have to apologize. I don't speak any Japanese whatsoever. So if anybody helpful in chat could be absolutely insane and to help me with translating the names, that would be great. I didn't come into this tournament expecting to see EU versus JP in an NA Weekly. I'm going to be straight up honest with you.
Oh yeah, I don't think anybody expected this. Like, we kind of knew, even with the prize on the line and the money that was up, like this was a big deal. It's 40. This is a gold. Like, we knew this was a possibility, but I don't think either of us expected this level of turnout from across these teams. But I mean, given that quality, like, this is exactly what we expect, right? Fiesta looking very, very strong here, and Japan, as we know, is a really strong region. They have their own separate style of play. It's kind of a different meta here. They are showing how they can impact and bring what they've learned over to these Western regions and really impact the metas here.
Yeah, it's really, really cool to see that, and to see them just want to like change up their clock so much to come here. I'm more looking towards this next game, this tower control game. My brain, I have to apologize, is still in low ink mode at times, because I did do commentary for low ink. Did 6 rounds of Swiss over there on IPL. I'm telling people to come over here to Dapple to watch that. But my goodness, I gotta say, the number of tri-strikes I saw versus the number of crabs was 100% reversed. You saw all tri-strikes, no crabs.
It's kind of hard to justify crabs in a world where Kraken exists and is just going to take up space on this, in addition to Tri-Strike getting a huge buff against it. Like, we are all scared and concerned for a bit, admittingly, like, what's going on. They're not touching it, but I think it's just going to take a little bit of experimentation and trusting the things, because now we're seeing Tri-Strike's really good. Kraken's back in, and now suddenly we have this kind of indestructible force to really aggressively take on a crab if we need it. And I think we're seeing these adaptations slowly get made once we realize, look, we don't have to be afraid of this crab, even though it outranges us. We just have to outplay it, and we are capable of that.
Yeah, I'm looking towards this Undertow game, and I know that Crab's weakest mode, that, like, for not necessarily weakest mode, but the mode that I saw it played the least.
Yeah,
when it was like the most popular, like, splash everywhere, triple splash, single machine, you would see people swap off on tower control. So I really want to see if we're going to see the Neo splashes coming out, or the T-Tex, to have those tri-strikes, because I know that in the past teams have swapped off and played more machine, but we will see. No, 2 splashes, 2 crab splashes.
I mean, it's still very strong here, but I mean, we do see the bucket, we do see the slosher come out, and we do have names. It's Kame-chan, Korokoro, and Wasafilbu, if I got that right. Shout out to chat for that coming through. But it is a unique comp here. I do think the bucket brings in a lot of aggression that really can just clear this this cart a lot faster. So I do think Fiesta has a unique take on this that a lot of these comps may not have scrimmed in the past. That might be something that works well in their favor here.
Yeah, these Tri-Strikes Kraken with the Zipcaster, the Splatana Stamper is always just a strong weapon. I think it's main weapon, sub weapon combo. A Zipcaster, it gets good use out of Zipcaster, but my goodness, if that thing had Kraken, it would be GG go next.
Oh yeah, that's a different story, but it's not quite here as Graveyard Shift will get to the push of the first point, slowly give it up. But I mean, that was probably one of their better chances recently to kind of take this. The picks came in versus Fiesta. Now that there's Tri-Strikes and there's specials coming up online, I mean, Graveyard Shift just now has to just fight from behind. It's going to go to Fiesta, and Fiesta will have the advantage to keep this rolling.
Yeah, this is going to be a good push. They got through that first checkpoint. The second checkpoint should be looking to fall as Graveyard Shift have lost two of their members. I do know that Orion's going to be hopping in there, gets one splat, is trying to get the second. The Crab Tank is going to be absolutely obliterated. Actually, no, it's not obliterated by that Tri-Strike. It does get forced back, though, and the Kraken will secure that second checkpoint for Fiesta.
I mean, this is already past the point of no return here. Like, there has just not been a contest, and we'll finally get it here now that there is space to do so. It's still a tough fight for Graveyard Shift, though. Now at 22, they are just so far behind, and they have been struggling to get position to challenge this cart. So now that they finally do, and they finally get Fiesta off guard, they have a long...
But yeah, these plays by the 96 gal able to get the shots down. I'm interested to see if Graveyard Shift has a good opportunity with the Crab Tanks to find the positioning that they need and push forward with that, because Crab Tanks can be a little bit difficult to push in. Ooh, here we go. That Restarter is going to be coming in, trying to find that gal. The gal's able to stay alive and pop their Kraken. What a way to stay alive. Trying to force their way on this right side. Graveyard Shift. They're trying to get in, but they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and that's going to be a wipeout in Fiesta's favor.
That's a really tough wipeout, especially for Graveyard Shift, because now they're really going to struggle. They don't have a place to jump to, so Fiesta just needs to play aggressively, take the space here. They already have two specials up. This looks like they should be able to press this. They just need to get a pick first. Just not getting caught out here, just taking the space, and look at how wide they are playing this map. That works so much in their favor here.
Yeah. Kemei-chan is on that tower, has that Kraken ready to go, and they're going to be popping it. It won't allow them to get through all 12 ticks of this checkpoint, but it should get them a very hefty way through that point. And all the way down to 2, can anyone else grab onto it? No, it's going to be a wipeout. Graveyard Shift needed that so desperately.
That was the stop. Yeah, that was the stop they needed. They still are not past the worst of it, though. Now as they try to take the space back, I mean, they still haven't even gotten it past first checkpoint here. A little under 2. This is just a rough map, especially with that Reef Slider. This is a very vertical map in a lot of ways. Reef Slider a little bit tougher to get some advantage of, so I'm just not sure. I'm concerned, Genie, going into this if Graveyard Shift can find the pieces they need to put this together. I mean, they're 2 fights out from just losing this round and going down 2-0.
Yeah, they have been able to hold on, but I completely agree with you. It just feels like they haven't had enough fights in a row that go stack well together, as they're getting kind of pounded again here by Fiesta. They haven't had enough fights to combo them in a row to even think about getting 2 checkpoints going down.
No, and they're a little kind of focused in. They're trying just so hard to make sure this stop and this full complete doesn't happen that you can kind of see they're not even really taking fights that work in their favor. And this is, again, they're just going to give up the cart here as the rest of them just try to struggle to find pick value.
Yeah, they should be able to get the space that they need now. No, the Slosher's able to come in and maybe get jumps in for Fiesta, but I don't really know. You got try. Yeah, I got to be straight up honest with it. So Tri-Strikes, Kraken, I don't really see a way that Graveyard Shift wins this in overtime.
There's still a chance. This is last fight. They just can't give it up. I'm really gonna keep an eye on somebody to go out and just get aggressive pick value, and that's kind of the thing that's been missing from Graveyard Shift, is there just hasn't been anybody playing forward and really trying to fight for this space while the cart continues to roll. I mean, it's hard when you got those Tri-Strikes, but somebody's got to go do it.
Those are the Tri-Strikes used early, and the splash also falls, so they won't have those to advantage. But they do have this gal who's going to be sharking in the background, but Orion's just the last alive, and that'll be just a glorified wipeout, and that will be game.
This was a rough round for Graveyard Shift, unfortunately, and a very mentally hitting 2-0 to go down, because You felt that first game was pretty close. That could have gone either way, but this one something just felt like it didn't click. Maybe it's just because you didn't scrim. Maybe there's something in the setups that you had going on. But I mean, it just didn't quite go your way. So now on match point, you really need to make some sort of a change here to fight in against Fiesta.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I feel like Graveyard Shift is up against like the bookends of it because it's gonna be a difficult battle. I do have to say. I'm not this. I feel like Graveyard Shifts go down 3-2 here. I feel like they get the spot zones game. I feel like their comp can allow them. The Tetris can just go dancing around zone, through zone, wherever they want to go. I feel like their comp works a lot better than it does on the last two maps on this next map. But the two maps after that, I cannot agree again. I have to go back with Fiesta. So I'd like to see Graveyard Shift at least take something off of Fiesta here, and I think they can.
Oh, I think they're definitely a strong enough team to do so. I think it just is going to require them to stop and kind of catch their breath here because those are a couple rough games. They've moved pretty quickly, but I think that, again, like you said, like the Tetras look really good here. That mobility and that kind of just ability to manipulate the map and get in and play aggressively was really, really lost on these first two modes. And I think, like you said, given that splat zones here, there's plenty of side alleys you can fight on and market. But I really do want to see those Tetras get in and just create some chaos. That's going to be their key to going forward here, is just not getting stuck at the mid and really pushing and supporting each other as they push past it.
Oh, here we go. This is going to be Graveyard Shift trying to stay alive here. They have a second opportunity if they do lose this by going down in the loser's run, but I don't really want to go down to that loser.
Splatling and triple sploosh. Wow. I do like the splatling, especially because you have so many angles you can drop your special around and just kind of get value. But I mean, triple crab just tells me they just want to close this out. They don't care. They're going to sit back and play at range, and that's concerning for me if you're Graveyard Shift.
I might have to take back what I said, and as well, no object shutter on that heavy. It's going to prove to be really difficult to like even shred through those crabs in the 1v1 scenario, let alone having 4 burst bombs thrown at you.
Yeah, this is not a map. Yeah, this is a team that's now punishing you for pushing past that mid, and it is going to be very hard. Graveyard Shift will get that first initial take, but it'll flip right back again. This is just a tough comp. This Fiesta comp is so aggressive, and it's great recognition that it's just saying, look, we understand that we are outplaying you in the aggressive feat here. We will take the space, and we feel confident in our 1v1s, so let's just do that.
Oh, this is a great spot for the Wavebreaker, but it gets absolutely obliterated by one slice of the Splatana Stamper. We're going to see Orion on that Tetris trying to stay alive here, but I gotta say, they're probably going to get punished by so many burst bombs.
I mean, you take the trade there, that's fine, but again, if Fiesta just continues to roll this down, no one is able to get in to really contest this. They'll throw it back, and it's so hard when you consider that these crabs have just been rotating, and they don't need to play past mid, just given the range that they have.
Yeah, Terra's just sitting up top, just trying to paint the zone, getting Wavebreakers down, but really, like, what value is that? You can't get your team back in the zone. There's no way to push into these flashes and all these burst bombs. It's just Fiesta's putting on a show. They're putting on a party.
Yeah, they are just absolutely just look. This was just Fiesta saying, look, we are taking first place. We don't care that it's like 3 a.m. for us. We are here to win and show that we have an understanding and we understand what we want to do and how to play this game. So, wow, just a dominant look out of Fiesta going into this semis.
Yeah, Fiesta's going to be able to take on Crush Soda now in our Winners Finals. This was just Winners Semis. I cannot believe
this is wild.
This is a weekly. I remember commenting like 35, 37, 33, 20s. I even commented some earlier ones of what's it called, Triton, Squid Junction.
Big Squid Junction. Yeah.
This is just a different. It feels like a different tournament.
Yeah.
It feels like 20xx5.
Yeah, this is like a major or minor quality of just team play, and I feel for like watching some of these earlier names that we lost, like Silly Kitties and Ascension, like come through, was really just wild to see like how stacked this was. So this 3-0 also still just tells me a lot, even going into these finals, that Fiesta really, really understands exactly what they're doing in this current meta, and that has to be terrifying if you are the rest of the remaining teams. Yeah,
and hopefully this time Kyo doesn't get cursed by me, because Kyo's net died miserably.
Yeah, died a tropical throwdown, yeah.
Yeah, misery last time. I commentated him on stream, so hopefully it holds on. I'm pretty sure he's not in Canada anymore, and I do understand. I get that. Kyo, I get it. As a Canadian, sometimes when there's a blizzard outside, Net just says, GG, I'm not here anymore. I'm going to the tropics. I'm going to go have a fun time.
I'm going to head out, man. Yeah.
Mexico sounds pretty chill. I want to go to a beach down there.
Yeah, I don't blame it. But, I mean, it was a quick one for us. I guess we had just take a nice extended break here, Jeannie, and check back in once we get the next setup.
Yeah, great idea.
Splatoon Stronghold, a stronghold for competitive Splatoon, providing resources to long-timers and newcomers alike. If you're new to the competitive scene or still figuring out how to join, we have a getting started guide and plenty of other resources to help you in your journey. If you are a seasoned veteran, we still have plenty to offer. You can find and join tournaments as well as participate in our Captain Forum and find free agents and teams. Our mission is to make competitive Splatoon easily accessible to everyone. So what are you waiting for? Join the Splatoon Stronghold today!